Horror Italia 24, siamo qui con Phil Tippett, vincitore del premio Oscar per il ritorno dello di Jurassic Park e nominato anche per Dragonheart, Starship Troopers. And about the fight between CGI, if you want, and practical effects, what side would you take? Personally, I always loved the practical effects. I think about The Thing, or recently Suspiria by Guadagnino had some practical effects. I used to prefer that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I certainly prefer practical effects over digital
Obviously.
effects. I mean, the digital effects are, essential for a certain level of spectacle and scale. I mean, for instance, Starship Troopers, there was no way of creating a battle with thousands and thousands of bugs in any other way than digitally. So it was perfect tool. It could not have been done in stop motion or with puppets or anything. But certainly for my day job, everything that's generated now for cinema, commercial cinema, or the people that come to me to do work, everything is done digitally all the time. And part of that is kind of a pain in the ass because a lot of it requires a lot of iterations, doing things over and over and over again to, mollify some executive, at the studio, as opposed to, back in the day, if we were doing a stop motion shot, we tried to get everything in one take, and get that done. So yeah, and certainly, this project that I've been working on for the last 30 years, Mad God, is an independent project that I've been doing. Makes use of all of those, techniques that go back to, the silent era, miniatures and backdrops, painted backdrops, paintings on glass, stop motion characters, live action characters that are integrated into scenes. So, and very few digital elements at all. Of course, everything is, I try and shoot as much stuff as I can, all in camera, but certain shots, because I'm playing with a lot of scale, a lot of different sizes, and all the puppets are different sizes, there's a great deal of compositing that has to be done, so a lot of green screen. And digital has made that so much easier than it was back when you had to use optical printers. So, yeah, it's great.
Okay. Thanks. And speaking back about horror, if you have to choose one Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, to take on the desert island, what movie?
What horror movie?
What horror movie? It's an hard one.
Maybe not, and I'll probably miss some, but the first thing that comes to mind, I saw The Exorcist on opening day.
Yes, okay.
And that was an amazing experience to be in the audience on the first screening on opening night. And I happened to see it in San Francisco, and when it ended, you could hear a pin drop. And when we exited the theater, it was a packed house. Nobody said anything. Everybody was in stunned silence, and it was so effective. It just stayed with me for days and days and days. Now I guess, another very pivotal one, which is not a horror movie, it's more of a monster picture, was Jaws, but it had certain kinds of horror elements in it, but it was really a monster picture.
Okay, so you took some inspiration also from the horror cinema, from these works that you speak about now, Exorcist, Jaws, or is something you like, but
not specifically.
Not specifically.
I mean, really in tone, definitely Murnau's Nosferatu. Was a big influence, and a few of the other silent, horror films really were. Because the Mad God project is essentially a silent film. There's no dialogue at all, except for it has a musical score and sound effects, but no dialogue at all. And I really liked. I still think that silent cinema is some of the best cinema. You know, before sound and theatrical cinema became a slave to literature and dialogue. That much more creative solutions were found in silent cinema than in sound cinema.
Okay, so in your opinion, more now better than the Herzog one, Nosferatu. You prefer the more now over Herzog's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. One last quick question. Do you have one of your movies, your works, that you love in particular the most, or you love equally all of your production? You have no preferences, or you love something in particular about your movies?
I think the most rewarding. I mean, nothing is fun. Everything is difficult. But I would think the most rewarding experiences for me was working with Verhoeven on Robocop and Starship Troopers, because our minds were both somewhat misanthropic, whereas Stephen and George are very kind of publicly minded and more PG-13. And Paul's views are, far more extreme and experimental, and I found that, to be, more engaging, and in fact, someone told me that when George Lucas saw Star Wars, when he saw Starship Troopers, he told somebody that was the film Phil was born to make.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Sure.
Really, thank you from all the community of Horror Italia 24. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.